Alright, Berries. Game number 3. Rats are on 2-0, looking for a clean sweep, whereas TP needs to get a reverse sweep here in order to get to the grand final in the EMEA Masters. Bans already coming through the Rumble and the Varus game. We might see another Maokai. Once again, Rats are on blue side. Draven ban this time, so Maokai is now open potentially. Sign and Nidalee. We saw a very good value in Nidalee game, didn't we? In the previous series. So I was trying to theory cross some picks. We've got the Sivir potentially. Unlock the Sivir. Lulu could be an option here to be taken here early. Jarvan also final ban. So Sivir, Lulu could be a factor here. And for this one, Maokai getting taken here potentially. It was a hot pick for Rats for the first games for them. But honestly, it didn't seem to work out too great. But they do opt into taking it for this one. So yeah, Maokai locked in for Rats. Is that... We'll see. I honestly haven't been impressed too much with the Maokai performance from Velia. Been enjoying him much more on his carry jungles rather than the tank ones. What's the response to Tristana, which has been a flex pick in both mid and AD carry? That's an AD carry that I think both teams maybe forgot about. Jungle... Wait. Could see a jungle pick here. I'm just trying to think, what is jungle available to here? Lilia? Okay, we've got a Lilia pick here. So are we going to see potentially like a Sivir Lulu here maybe in response to this Tristana? Sivir can block the E final detonation on the Tristana. Jhin with what though? What would you want to play? You haven't got that much to work with the Jhin. Maybe we could see a Janna Jhin. We do know that Reckless likes playing Janna sometimes. We saw him in one of those games in the previous best of 5. I wonder what they're discussing right now. You do have a little bit of engage with the Maokai. It's not... You probably would need something else to link up with that in somewhere else in the draft. The Cho'Gath top lane being locked in here. Could be potentially mid lane Cho'Gath, but it's very much likely going to be under Baus. We've seen Baus play some fantastic Cho'Gath. I actually forgot about that. Yeah, he's had some brilliant games on Cho'Gath as well. I think he's going to be happy with being able to lock that in. What is the final pick here going to be for TP? Is there going to be a top lane pick responsive? We're going to get the Gnar. Gnar being locked in has a 75% win rate actually at the moment. Could be from like 4 games, but pretty good. So supports are going to be in the line of fire, I think, here in the bans. That Tristana could be a mid lane Tristana as well, don't forget. So we could see a little bit of a shuffle there too. Got a Quinn ban. Maybe they're thinking that Cho'Gath could be played mid here. A Blitzcrank ban. I think if you're banning the Blitzcrank, you're probably wanting to play Janna. If you're banning Blitzcrank, I feel like you're moving more in towards an Enchanter for sure. Could be Nami Jhin. I think Nami Jhin, Janna Jhin could be fine here. And Bessa banned. They seem almost convinced that this is a mid lane Cho, by the way. They're banning out top laners. I don't think I've ever seen Baus play in Bessa though. Pike also banned, so that's giving me like, okay, I think they want to play an Enchanter down here. Not wanting to have to deal with any hard engage. What's the next pick here going to be? We've got mid lane and support open here. I imagine we're probably going to see the support pick here. And leave that mid lane as a... Yeah, so we're going to Karma here in that bot. Just gonna give a lot of speed over potentially to the Lilia. So far though, not massively impressed with the amount of crowd control from TP, and their engage isn't easy. It's the main one you got there is really Mega Nard to try and get in, but you can play around that a little bit. There's a Jace opening there. Are we actually gonna see a Jace play on Battles? Have we? I don't think I've seen Battles play Jace. Bard. I was honestly expecting more of a Janna or a Nami. I don't think the Bard pick is fantastic here. They're too fast. Like the Lilia and the Karma are fast, and it's going to be very difficult to land good ultis on that. We'll see how he does though. He might be our most amazing Bard player in the world. We'll see. But I think Bard is quite difficult to play into that team. Bard has better roaming capability though than the Karma in terms of moving around the map. Sivir being hovered over again, and it is going to be the lock-in. So it's going to be a Tristana in the mid lane versus potentially a Jace. Are they going to swap that over at the last second, or is Baus just going to go mid lane and Nemesis just going to go top lane for this one? It's going to be some weird mental mind games because the Cho'Gath is not going to want to lane against the Gnar. But if you're looking at TP's team composition, they didn't really have an engage. They would have had to look to maybe Ashe as well, maybe as an option, but you got Lilia movement speed, Sivir ulti, Karma Mantra E. I don't like the Bard pick, if I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like that Bard ult is going to be, in theory, ridiculously difficult to land against their team. We'll see though. We'll see what Reckless can do, but yeah, I don't know. I have a little bit of doubt about that. Reki hasn't had great Bard ults in previous games either. Oh, really? Okay, yeah, that's a bit tough because if you like, it feels like if you're playing Bard, right? I feel like you almost have to be a Bard one trick in order to get proper full potential at Bard. Like Bard is such an awkward champion, and he has so many evolving item builds and stuff like that. I feel like you either play Bard your whole life, or you just don't. And I feel like picking Bard here is, we'll see. He might have a absolutely amazing game here. We'll see. But I feel like this is like a really difficult game to play Bard into as well. And here we are, game number 3. I wonder if there'll be another pause. You seem to be having a lot of those lately at the start of the game. Any bets on there being a pause? Looks like there's some early movement here. Bard might end up getting caught off in the brush. Potentially bot side. He's already recalling. I think he's warding and recalling. Jhin maybe face checking a try brush here. What is going on there? Cameraman, can we not look at this? Can we look at down there? TP have invaded bot side jungle. Let me just move my camera down slightly. There we go. There you can see Baus picking his nose. He's in his comfy space. Maybe too comfortable, maybe.
Minions have spawned.
Lots of pings going around. That bot lane, TP's bot lane looking to be really aggressive. Maybe they're trying to find an angle maybe to invade jungle again. But with Velia starting his red side again, sorry, it's gonna make it so that he's not going to be able to be invaded on. Jin's already taking a lot of damage here in this lane, already brought down to half HP. Stun does connect with the electrocute from Bard, but obviously nowhere near the same damage as a Mantra Q from Karma. Jin already forced to drink his only health potion. Bard getting a better trade here. 4-shot potentially going to be landing on the Sivir. Heals used by both teams here. Bard's still poking and chipping away here. That ends up being a good trade overall for Rats there. Because the Jhin was already mega chunked already. Level 2 advantage does go over to Rats. Karma dodging and trading better here. Bard putting his little teacups down, but they don't heal for a massive amount even once they're fully charged. He's going to drain out his mana a lot. He's going to need to be able to roam and get some chimes soon in order to fill up his mana. But yeah, Rat's losing the 2v2 at the moment, and I think they will continue to do so until they're able to recall. Bard can be quite bullied quite easily in lane very early on. And you haven't got Maokai playing for you bot side. I think this is a much different team here coming from Rats. I'm actually really concerned about the the consistency of the damage output going into the game. Like, you got Cho there with Mega Burst, Maokai Burst, you got Nemesis on Jace's Burst, Jhin Burst, Bard Burst, full burst team composition there, where if you look at TP's team fight, if the fight goes on for a little bit, Jhin already forced a flash away from the tether there. But if you do look at TP side, they've got much better consistent damage over a longer period of time in the fight. Rat's team composition is more about making picks, maybe isolating them into the kind of like 2v2s, 3v3s. They don't actually want a fight to last on long. Dare I say it, maybe Rat's got outdrafted him. We'll see how the game plays out though. Cho is laning against this Gnar though, they didn't switch out the lanes. Looks like Cho's in big trouble here. You might have to consider flashing over this wall, but then the Gnar would just flash as well. Gnar just flashed forward and gives first blast over to the bounce. Over to the bounce, over from the bounce. Yeah, I'm surprised that Rats didn't switch up the lane there. I guess they just guessed. Maybe they would put the Gnar in mid, anticipating that the Cho'Gath would go mid, and just guessed wrong. Cho'Gath greeting for the Q there. And then once again, just a really another greedy recall there. If he was just paying attention to Gnar, he would have just seen him walking down there. I don't know why he reacted so late to that. There is a flash down for Gnar though, but so far every single lane right now for Rats is losing. You got the flash down also for the Jhin. Jace getting some damage there onto the Triss, but this could be a 1v1 kill. Triss does take a damage from the turret there. Karma is right here in mid lane though. If you can connect one Mantra Q, that's going to be it. Flash Mantra Q from Karma leads to another kill for TP of disaster start here from the Rats. And honestly, it seems like the Maokai curse, every time they take Maokai, this just seems to happen all the time. Rupture missing there from Cho. Gnar hasn't even reset, by the way, after getting that kill. Mega Gnar kicking through here. I mean, Bard's already been out-roamed by the Karma. I mean, if you're playing Bard, you kind of have to roam a lot, but at the same time, you can't roam because your Jin's already used his flash early on. I just super dislike this Bard pick because it's just made it so that your lane is so weak here early on. Especially after you know it's the Karma pick early, you know you're going to be losing a lot of the lane pressure early. I don't know what. Just a draft disaster here, really. I don't know what happened. I think if you play pretty much like the Jan... Okay, big flash coming in there. Okay. Baus actually getting a really good punish on the fact that the Gnar never recalled after that first kill. Trading back the kill 1-for-1 in a losing matchup is huge, and getting a fee stack on a champion is going to make it so that he can get up to at least 7 this game. Tristana looking for a 1v1 solo kill, and it is. Three kills going over to TP and the grubs. Bard connecting the stun there over to the Karma. Karma doesn't have flash, neither does the Jhin. Full shot does land on the Karma, but there's no more damage output coming. Jin's overstaying in the lane. Q doesn't bounce over to the Sivir. Sivir barriers thinking that it does. Good little engage there from the Bard, but just not enough juice. Though you do have Malka coming down. He doesn't have level 6. Bard tunnel going to connect through. Is there going to be a stun found here? Why is there no stun finding? Jin W does connect finally. To be able to clean up that kill, it's huge that Jin actually gets that. That feels very fortunate that that ended up like that. Not sure why the Bard key was held for such a long time there though. That felt really awkward. Rat's not going down without a fight though. It feels like they make one mistake and then able to remedy it a little bit later on. Big damage though coming onto the Cho'Gath. They still not lane swap this Jace back up to top side. Cho'Gath might fall down in another 1-for-1 kill. Cho'Gath does have TP, but this turret is going to take a massive amount of damage. Finally they're going to stick the Jace in the top lane with this TP, and this is such a big wave. Fortunately for Rats, no one misses out on the wave, but there's a 1k gold lead already for TP. Don't know why they've delayed that lane swap for so long. They've let that lane fight play out for 8 minutes now. Meanwhile, Symbiotic Shoes has been picked up already by the Cho'Gath, so... And Cho'Gath is making his way down for this mid lane fight. This is actually kind of good timing because the Feast is back up for Cho. It means that TP can't do this. Karma getting locked up at the backline with the Malka ulti. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath's been engaged on by Tristana. Tristana does fall down. Cho'Gath didn't use his ulti to at least get damage onto Tristana, which I feel like is a bit of a mistake there. Big sleep going on to Bard and Jin. Bard does fall down, so Jin will get caught up here by the Tristana. It's going to be a 3-kill Tristana at 8 minutes into the game. Bard didn't get the ulti there at all. Was Bard 6 for the whole of that? Maokai ulti was here pretty good. Rupture was good as well. Catches out the Karma completely. Baus doesn't even use his ulti though on the Tristana. I think you just have to use it. You know you're going to die there. Just get the free damage on. But yeah. The Tristana is just absolutely taking over the game now. It's actually mega disaster. 2,000 gold lead. What an answer though from TP after going 0-2 in the series so far. What a reply. What an answer. I mean, what do Rats do now to even try and come back into this mega deficit early? I mean, there's still a way for them, but they've just got to find it. You got the Jin with the 2 kills. I feel like you got to focus all your resources on this Jin. Make sure he can try and do something in this game because he's your only carry. You've already got Yontars picked up on the Tristana. But once again, they've decided to put the Jace back into the mid lane and they're happy for the Cho'Gath to keep fighting the Gnar 1v1. I mean, if this game goes on late game, Cho'Gath could, in theory, delete one champion with his ulti. Walk up, Rupture, auto, and then nom nom nom. But so far, this Bard, 10 minutes into the game, has had absolutely no value whatsoever. There's been no roaming, we've seen no ulti. I'm not really sure what the mindset behind this pick was. Really not being impressed with it at all so far. But we'll see what they can do. Bard tunneling through there, getting some chip damage onto the Tristana. W from Jin lands over. Minor little trade of victory there. Gotta remember that Sivir is meant to be the AD carry down here actually. Tristana was the mid laner. A little bit of damage there going onto the Sivir from Jace. TP starting the grubs though, and Lily has already put the Cho'Gath to sleep. He has managed to get over the wall. Rupture goes down. There is no more follow-up onto the Cho, but Cho... Gonna say, is Cho gonna stay up there? He might end up dying shortly afterwards. Yeah, that's another objective going over to TP. Some grubs there for them to go with that dragon. It's gonna put them at 2 out of 3 now. Turret is gonna take a massive amount of damage here with Demolish. Gonna be 2 more solo plates here for the Gnar. 250 gold for his pocket. Finally, some sort of answer for this Gnar though. They're sending the Jin up here. Bard is now finally roaming on the map after 12 minutes into the game. It just feels way too late for that to happen. How do rats respond? 2,000 gold down at 12 minutes into the game. No, no item has been completed yet for rats, but they do have the Leandries and the Maokai, whereas if you look across on the other side, you've got 4 completed items for TP. Trinity Force now being finished and picked up. Whereas Cho'Gath is whimpering on half items there. Got a lot of movement speed on this Bard. He's wanting to make some roaming plays here. Are they looking for a Bard ult setup here? They got full control of this brush. Looking for a brush trap play. They're going to lose resources potentially if no one face checks this. A little bit of a gamble here, but I think they have to try something. They're looking for a Bard ult, I think, to set up. Does catch off the Karma. Lilia's right there, though, for the counterplay, and this is now probably going to be a disaster engage. Bard is getting engaged on by Lilia. Brought down really low. Maokai being squishy and having that Leandries goes down. Steep goes down onto Crowny. That's Jin dead. That is a 2 for nothing. Sivir nearly died to the turret there, actually. That is a 2 for nothing. I think that's your desperation play done. I think it's over now. If I'm going to be honest, at 13 minutes into the game, it's an absolute horror show. And honestly, a horror draft as well. Very unexpected. Especially after they were able to get the Cho'Gath for the Baus. I'm surprised that honestly the rest of the draft here for rats is so bad. And I think I'm gonna have already mentioned it a couple times. I think it solely stems from this Bard pick. You saw the amount of pressure that they lost early. Whenever the bot lane lose early and get put down early, things just seem to fall apart for rats. They need to give their bot lane at least an even lane, but giving them Bard just does not make any sense. Approaching 1,000 gold lead for each champion for TP at this rate. 3.5k gold lead. Overall, 3-0 and a 2-0 on your AD carries. Jungle now just being completely taken over because the deficit is just a joke now at this point. Got maybe a reply happening on top side. Bard is engaging on top. Can we look at top? Cameraman, cameraman, top lane! Top lane, cameraman! Cameraman, thank you! Bard ult goes down onto the turret, but nothing happens after all of that. Meanwhile, on the bot side, complete jungle. This Maokai is not getting any jungle. This Maokai is now going to be starved. Minus 30 CS happening there. Tier 1 bot turret is going to fall, and it's going to give the boot upgrades over to TP now. 4,000 gold lead. Shambles here for rats. They are going to get a consolation turret here for their Jace, but I think this is the first time in quite some time that we've seen Nemesis get completely... Oh, you can see the tilt. That is the tilt. Is Jace going to just about be able to get away still, even with a fail flash? Empowered Q lands on the Tristana, and people are coming out this Karma now in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was looking for a kill potentially to finish off the Jace. Jin ulti does go down from the root that landed on the Tristana. That does give a lot of shutdown gold over to Jin. A massive blunder from Nemesis turning into a positive. I think they'll take whatever they can get right now. That does take about 700 gold out of TP's pocket and puts it into the pockets of Jin. Dragon does go over to TP, but Herald has been now started up here. So I think if you're rats, I think you just take anything you can get here right now. I think you're happy with this. If you can get this Herald to get some extra gold back, it's going to narrow the gold lead back into a little bit more of a playable situation. Very fortunate outcome from a very bad play from the Jace. That Jace apparently has a 7 gold shutdown. I find that hard to believe. How's that Jace got a 7 gold shutdown at 0-2? Yeah, he's got the most CS in the game, but not by much. That's weird. Maokai looking like he's potentially getting caught out here. He just wanted a jungle camp for the first time. Looks like Bard is here. Nice double stun. There is a Bard ulti available. Does not get used. Bard tunnel gets used to just escape. And they managed to get out with Maokai finally getting a little bit of jungle resource there. But Lily is now looking for the invade. Bowling ball from the Lilia doesn't quite land, and she's eyeing up this below. Jace Q misses. Cho'Gath's now moving around. This whole blue buff is looking for congestion. Looks like it probably will just be taken here by the Lilia. It does reset though, which does enable a 5v5 fight potentially to break out here on its top side. Bard ulti does go out, does catch the Lilia. It's a Rupture going to land and follow that up. Lilia gets the flash off just in time. Now Cho'Gath is now isolated all by himself. I don't think Cho'Gath can get out there. Now TP3, Cho'Gath is flash over the wall. It has meant that the Maokai ulti does end up catching up the Karma. She might get away there on that low HP. Cho'Gath is now coming back in. Jhin does pick up that kill. Gonna put someone 3 now, and now out of nowhere, Rats are now winning this fight. Lilia might fall down here. She's got no flash. Maokai twisted advance, lands onto the Maokai, and Jhin gets a triple kill. 4 players on TP are down. That brings the gold to even. There is no way Rats found a way out of that team fight. This all started because they wanted to fight with the blue buff, and Lilia didn't get the blue buff either. Bard ult does catch the Lilia. Rapture goes off, but Sivir wants it. They all want this. They see the Baus is out of position. Gnar comes in as well. Gnar doesn't have Mega Gnar ready though for this team fight, and Karma once again kind of gets caught out. They kind of give up the chase on the Cho'Gath. Everyone TP kind of panics. Half of them go up the river and half of them go back into their own jungle, and they completely staggered them all over the place. This allows them to get picked off one by one. Big miscommunication on the retreat there for TP. You had 2 people going up river and 3 going into their own jungle. Completely unaligned communication there. Wow. The TP were in full control in this game, and that is a massive throw. Now you have Jhin with 6 kills. 2 completed items, working on that Infinity Edge. As I said earlier, you got to pour these resources into the Jhin, and that's exactly what they're doing. Looks like Nemesis is going to get caught out again, but we've got TP here coming out from the top, and there's a big response here happening with Raz. Bard ult does delay the fight out. Stun does land on the Lilia. Nemesis is going to survive. Maokai ulti catches up the Karma again, and Twisted Advance on the Tristana. It's all falling apart here for TP. Atticus is spawning at the perfect time here as well for them just to eat this up. In the meantime, Gnar is pushing in bot, and Civ is trying to get some mid prio, but this is going to take a little while for them to kill, but absolute shambles communication and team fighting here from TP. I mean, 2 kind of good Bard ultis back to back. That last one there definitely was the better one. I mean, Bard catching off the Lilia in the previous fight wasn't necessarily crucial for that victory, but this one here, this Bard ult saving the Nemesis here, also prevents Tristana from getting a jump reset here too, because she gets put down to 20% HP. Tristana can't jump away here. Jhin ult comes flying through. Tristana's just forced to bail. She does eat 1 of those Jhin shots as well, which slows her down enough for Maokai to be able to chase up too. Yeah, that was actually that was such an important Bard ult. And also credit to Nemesis for finding that burst damage onto the Tristana as well. This dragon is going to be picked up here by Rats. I don't see how TP can now contest it. And now it's a 1k gold lead over to Rats. Yeah, full map control. I think if you're TP, your mental's in shambles. How do you mentally recover from those last 2 fights? You got Gnar potentially be caught off here. You got Mega Gnar coming in through soon. Got some Herald tech being used here. Of course, it's Baus getting some drift action in after not getting to play Sion at all for any of the EMEA Masters. And that is a charge into that tier 2 as well, setting up for some easy gold. We've got Tristana on top side. She's trying to get some solo gold. Looks like she will pick up about 700 gold for herself. Does close up the gold lead a little bit. Maokai ulti going through. Gnar potentially caught out. He does have flash. Karma also being locked down. She might be the main focus here. Bard ult maybe giving a bit too much time here for Karma. Maokai does take some turret hits. I feel like that Bard ult was not great and there's been a pause being called. Yeah, I feel like that Bard ult actually probably helped save the Karma there. Gets her just to smash the flash button, but honestly, I had written out Rats for the first 14 minutes. After the first 14 minutes, I thought there's no way that they were coming back. Look at that gold deficit. 4,000 gold at 15 minutes. 2 dragons down. The way that they managed to navigate that fight in the river to come back into the game was absolutely insane. It does look like there's a Baus issue though. I don't know what happened. Something happened maybe? I don't know. But yeah, it's just that one fight in the river. I mean, even when the Bard ulti landed on the Lilia, they were fine. Lilia flashed out. Bard ult got the Lilia flash, but they saw that the Cho'Gath was by himself. They popped the Sivir ulti, they popped everything to try and get that Cho'Gath down, but Baus, I think the plan there originally from Baus was just to flash into their jungle and just take the entire team away, with TP away, so that he would be the only person to die, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think that was the original plan, but the Maokai ulti, extremely lucky in a way to be able to catch the people out that they called out. Just meant that Karma was just easy pickings, and it's just that the whole TP just had no idea what to do. They didn't know what if they should keep chasing the Cho'Gath and just finish him off. They didn't know. Yeah, they just didn't know what to do. I think that Karma is having an absolute disaster game now. All of a sudden, getting caught off multiple times back to back here. Yeah, I think if you're TP, your mental's blown. You've literally just swung 5,000 gold in the matter of, what's that, 6 minutes? 6 minutes in your mid game, giving away 6,000 gold. Wow. And then the second Bard ulti as well when it landed on the Jace. I think the Jace and the Nemesis was playing honestly awful. You could tell he was tilted. But the fact that he managed to get that Tristana down as low as he did, and then the Bard ulti coming across, just delaying that, and then making it so that Tristana couldn't get the reset to rocket jump away. Like, fine little margins there coming in through there, but in Rat's favor. Sounds like a Lilia ult bugged on Baus and didn't sleep. On what fight? If there was an issue in that river fight, oh my God, and if that's the reason why Baus didn't die, oh, if it's later, I don't know then. I was gonna say, if there was an issue with Baus because Baus didn't die in the river when he got away on 10% HP and flashed towards their red buff, then yeah, if there was a legit bug there, then I could see why TP would be calling it there. There's a bug right just before the pause hit. Oh, I see, because from what I'm seeing here, there are 4 members converging into bot tier 2 for Rats, and then Baus is nearly in his base, being chased by Lilia, but Lilia didn't get a sleep off apparently. I think this pause though has to benefit TP. I don't know if they're allowed to talk during this. Maybe they're not. Usually you're not allowed to talk for a pause, but at least it gives them a moment to like mentally think about what's just happened and mentally kind of think about how they can get back into the game after having such a big lead. Because your mental would be absolutely crushed at this point if you're TP. You'd thought, okay, you'd be I think everyone was thinking to go to a game 4. myself included. Just the way that that fight just panned out for TP was just horrendous. There's no way to put it. They just didn't seem to be at all on the same page. You just had people completely cowering away. As soon as that Karma died, they just didn't know what to do. They didn't know if they should just keep chasing after the Cho'Gath or not. I think unfortunately for them, I think it's just the best case scenario is it's just you have to cut your losses on the Karma and just kill the Cho'Gath and then just don't give anything else for free. And then they still would have that 4k gold lead. And then the desperation play after that as well for the second fight where they tried to catch out the Jace, and maybe a little bit unlucky there for TP that they didn't manage to pull that off. But yeah. Just blown back right back into their face. Apparently Bowser's being attacked by a cat right now. IRL. Yeah, so it does seem to be an issue with the Lilia ulti not. We didn't see it in game on our camera, but apparently Lilia ult didn't proc on Cho'Gath. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if they have Chrono, whatever it's called. But yeah. Yeah, Chrono Break. Yeah, I don't know if they have that tech for this. I remember that being a really big thing for Riot to implement. It took them years to get it into the game. Because if they can Chrono Break it 20 seconds before, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't do a massive change to the current state of the game though, but yeah. Don't know. Let's have a break, guys. Just have a Kit Kat or something. But yeah, what, I don't know. It's crazy to me that what just happened, right? Just that team fight in the river has literally just changed. Yeah, I don't know. I can't them all out. Like, cause the only game-changing ult really there you have for Rats really is Bard ult. And honestly, the Bard ult was like, okay, you got the Lilia, but it wasn't exactly in the end it was actually the Malka ulti, the thing that we dismissed for ages. The Malka ulti actually managed to find a really weird pick for their team. Do we know what is going on? I don't think it should be a remake though, right? I don't know. I think if you have a remake from that, I think that's... Yeah, it looks like they're restarting. Looks like there's gonna be no remake. Production's ready. No chrono, it's a no bug. Okay, that's the decision that's been made. I think a remake here would be rough for Rats. If there was a chrono break for sure, maybe. I think you could chrono break that maybe if they had the option to. Apparently it was a Lilia ult bug on Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath got caught somewhere around this area here.
My God, look at this
with the Tristana nearby. It's going to be a tier 2 bot tower though. It's going to extend the gold lead now to 2k. Maybe Jin's getting caught off here. Jin's forced to flash. Jin is your biggest carry on your team right now. And he has no flash, and he's quite an immobile champion. You got a little bit of movement speed there, but all eyes on this Jin until his flash is back up. Known bugs don't get chrono break. Gotcha. Okay. So if you let Lilia's passive run too low and you ult late, the passive falls off and you waste your ult. Oh, I see. Do you think... Put on the tinfoil hat in. I hope that wasn't done intentionally to try and get some sort of remake through, but I don't know. You never know. Let's not be too cynical, I guess. Alright, let's see what Rats can do with this lead and the momentum they got. I think the pause is going to be... it's definitely probably taken some of the wind out of the sails there, though. It's definitely allowed TP to kind of mentally get back and recoup and kind of analyze what they've done and what they can do to rectify. Even if they can't talk, the players are at a high enough player level to kind of like think about what they can do. A lot of pressure going on with the poke from Nemesis on this Jace at the moment. Chipping away here. Meganar soon gonna be coming through. You got Baron in 45 seconds. Don't forget, Atikan already got picked up by Rats earlier on. Jin has no flash. He's got movement speed here, but what is he doing there by himself? Sivir gets pretty low, but Blast Cone almost gets used there, but what the hell is Jin doing there? This pause has definitely caused them issues. All of a sudden, Rats just seem unfocused. There's absolutely no reason for Jin to be positioned like that. At least Rats get to answer a tier 2, but I have absolutely no idea what Crowley was thinking, face checking that area there by himself. What was he doing? Two big missed position plays recently on this Jin. First time had the flash to get out of that first mistake, but no flash the second time. Does drop the gold lead ever so slightly. I think the Jin probably had a shutdown as well. Yeah, they can't afford to keep making mistakes like that, Rats. They just got back into the game. They don't want to just throw it away back over again. Bard putting himself in a nice position to try and stop people coming into the Baron buff. They have Cho'Gath ulti to secure the Baron. Doesn't look like anyone's interested in contesting this from TP, and it is going to be a Baron going over to Rats. Not a whole lot you can do if you allow that Cho'Gath just to get onto the Baron. And we've seen Baus do some really good ult secures on some of these objectives in previous games. Got a trap being made potentially here from TP, but there's a sapling going in there, allowing some easy phase checking access. There is a dragon spawning. I feel like TP might end up just leaving this one though. It needs to potentially wait out the Baron a little bit. Jace doesn't find the poke, but there are saplings in this brush and that's going to slow them down. I don't think they can go in here. Lilia might potentially look for a flash smite here. She's over that wall. Jin ulti has been used. Cho'Gath uses his ulti though to secure the dragon. Bard ult goes wide, doesn't connect to anybody. That's one of the issues I said with the Bard. They're quite a speedy team. Flash. Q goes over to the Karma but doesn't find the wall for the stun. But that chase just completely blew up that Triss there. Oh, flashing over the wall, hunting for this Karma. In the meantime, in mid lane, you got a big push going down there. Maokai ulti being used. Not really finding anything there for kill wise in the mid lane. But they do get the tier 2. I do wonder if that flash from Nemesis on the Jace is worth it though, to hunt down a 2/4 Karma. Meanwhile, flash sleepy time being used there. Lilia goes down still there though from the Leandries on the Maokai. And Gnar goes in. He has no Mega Gnar. Siva's been mega caught out here too. Jim picks up another one. Blast Cone's going to be big here. Mega Gnar will come through. Do I think Gnar might be able to slip away here and waste some time? In the meantime, in mid lane, you got Jace and Jin pushing in mid. That's going to be a tier 3 tower taken. Inhib will go down shortly. Gnar will eventually go down. It's going to be who's going to get the kill here. Has Cho'Gath got ulti? No, he doesn't. Cho'Gath is dancing on Gnar's corpse. He was TPing. I thought he was dancing, but I think it was just a TP animation. Knockout, Rupture, W. Easy pickings here. What a cleanup after that team fight, though. Once they had that lead, apart from the Jhin making a couple of positional mistakes there in the map, that's going to secure Rats into the grand final for the EMEA. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a remake of against Akami. They did get dropped out. They did lose in the their semi-final game, so it's going to end up being Rats versus Octopi. That ends up being I was going to say a clean 3-0 sweep, but that third game was nothing but clean, and I think that draft was very fortunate to end up the way that it went. I think if they look back at that, them picking Bard and then giving up that bot lane as hard as they did with that pick, that really shouldn't have been a win for Rats. But the fact that they managed to find that team fight is just crazy. I mean, here you start off with the game here with once again another really greedy recall. You can see the Gnar's walking down there. He's literally in shot right now. I think if Cho'Gath realizes that Gnar's doing that, he just walks down the river and just, I don't know, maybe he eventually gets away. Maokai ulti engaging here. You find the Karma pick. Baus gets picked off though behind the pit, and it just looks like a complete disaster fight after this because they lose so many members from this. Bard is 6th and has ulti, but doesn't use it to delay the fight at all. And Jhin gets picked up. Tristana at this point is on 3 kills, and you're thinking Tristana's just going to run with this game, but this fight here, Lilia gets hit by the Bard. Rupture doesn't quite connect with the same time. I mean, and everyone ditches apart from the Cho because of the Gnar TP. Cho'Gath managed to add look at the 3 people in the river there, the Tristana and the Lilia and the Gnar. Tristana actually got hit by the Maokai root, so that's why she's delayed extra into this fight. That Maokai ulti ended up being a huge catalyst for everything. And that just means easy pickings. So even Tristana just doesn't let the Lilia die. She's trying to fight for it. She could just run away there too. And then only a minute later, you see them collapsing, trying to collect on this Jace, but this Bard ulti comes through and just delays the fight for so long. Tristana doesn't get the kill or in a takedown there for a reset for jump. Manages to jump away just about there at the very end, but still goes down. And at that point, there's like a 4k gold loss there from TP. And they try one final attempt here to make something happen, but it's just a complete disaster. Look at the damage here coming over to the Sivir. Gnar tries to get away, but he eventually gets picked up here later on. We're actually going to watch the whole fight now. Gnar's just wasting time here, guys. We don't need to see this, do we? In the meantime, they are pushing down mid, but yeah, Gnar does eventually fall down, and then Cho'Gath just TPs in, gets ready for the next bunch. Bit of weird camera work there, but hey, that's a 3-0. For Rats, they get to go into the grand final. They are up against the Octopi of IJC, I believe. Yeah, IJC. They are Squids Octopi from France. It's going to be a France versus UK grand final. As I mentioned, K-Corp lost against IJC in the semi-finals 3-1. And don't forget, KCB did beat Rats in group stage 2-0. So grand finals will be playing tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time. So yeah, I hope you had fun watching and me casting. We had lots of pauses. I'm sure we'll probably get more pauses in the next series, and I'll be casting that too. Wow. And I hope you guys have been enjoying me casting these games. Never done this before, so it's been a lot of fun being allowed permission to do this. Yeah, and I'll be back. I'll be streaming earlier. I'll be streaming some League tomorrow. A bit sooner. I don't have as many IRL chores to do today, but I will be also covering the series too, so nice.